Another area, Derek, where Chinese consumers are closely watched around the world is luxury. But talk to us about this other report that you and your team have put out around luxury shame and caution on ostentation and sort of people trying to avoid flaunting their wealth.
Yeah, I think that's sort of a growing trend that people are, I think in this environment, people are getting more cautious on their spending. It's not to say that they're not willing to spend on luxury. It's actually on some of the top players, we continue to see very strong performance in China. But it's just sort of the aspirational consumptions that people are getting more cautious around, and will continue to do so.
Yeah, I mean, we've had analysts on this morning who suggest that this could be good news for the likes of perhaps Nike and Adidas in this market. But what is this a function of? Is this that Chinese consumers are becoming more cost conscious because of sort of the macro environment, or has this got something to do also with President Xi Jinping's Common Prosperity campaign, or is it basically a bit of both?
I think the key words here is consumer confidence, right? If you look at sort of the confidence index, it's gradually recovering, but at a relatively slow rate. I think that has to do with if you look at sort of disposable income related to employment rate, if you look at still very high level of saving rate, and also if you look at the real estate market recovery in China. So that all are sort of factors that contribute to that recovery of consumer confidence. And that will eventually sort of driven a lot of those more sort of discretionary consumptions in China.
Right. Derek, how would you rate the Chinese consumer on the feeling of nationalism? Because like Sam pointed out, you're obviously talking about luxury shame. You're talking about large brands losing steam, but also foreign brands. So at any point of the value chain, whether it's at the entry level, mid-level, or the high-end level, is there a greater interest in buying local brands, greater demand for local brands, home brands?
As I said, it's more about consumer getting more sophisticated, right? So they come from more willing or more used to pay a premium for a foreign brand for the sake of brand value only, to a more sophisticated understanding of the differentiated value proposition a brand has to offer. Right. This is also where, in recent years, a lot of domestic brands are able to gain share in a lot of different sectors, because they came to prove to consumers their value proposition is just as competitive, no matter it's sort of a value for money, no matter it's package or the quality of the products they offer. So we see that trend continuing. So it's less about foreign versus domestic. It's more about how differentiated your brand value proposition and your product quality will be.